Hello, witches and wizards. First and foremost, thank you to everybody who has contributed to our research on horned serpents. If you didn't happen to catch that video, look down in the description below. I will put a link to it. A couple of things that have been pointed out that I personally didn't think about is metric versus empirical measurements. I know that 20 inches is around 508 millimeters, but I don't know where that is in centimeters. I think someone mentioned around 50. And I know it won't make a huge difference, but that could explain why some places that see right around 20 inches of rain but don't see horned serpents, while others see around 20 inches of rain and do see horned serpents. Maybe there's some kind of a conversion in there that leads to the difference. So definitely keeping that in mind. As far as fresh bodies of water versus salt water, it is something that we considered. There are just so many contradictory reports. People who live in places where it rains a lot say, well, I see them around fresh bodies of water. People who live in arid areas that have streams, rivers, creeks, lakes of that nature that are fresh bodies of water still do not see them. So I'm not willing to rule out there's some kind of a factor that fresh bodies of water play into it. I just don't think it's a massive factor. I think annual rainfall and in-game weather play much more of a factor than the fresh bodies of water. For the rest of this video, we're going to continue to talk about oddities. It is 2 days before the full moon, which means that we should be seeing werewolves. It's been a while. I did not have a whole lot of success last time with werewolves, so I want to go out and do some research. As you can see in my game, it is clear day. So obviously, I'm not going to be doing my werewolf hunt at this exact moment, but the reason why I'm doing this video is because if you go up into your Diagon Alley, I have a complimentary gift. I have no idea what this is. I just didn't want it to go away, and the curiosity was getting the best of me. Collect your complimentary supplies from the ministry. So I got 10 Extimulo potions, 4 dawdle drafts, and 10 scrolls. That seems really random. Like extremely random. I do remember seeing reports where Niantic or Warner Brothers was saying that they would be compensating people who had early access to FanFest because in all the shakeup of everything between starting late, going long, that people who paid for early access were cut short an hour of time. Maybe this is that gift. Let me know in the comments below. If you had early access on Saturday to FanFest, did you receive this complimentary gift? And if you didn't have early access on Saturday to FanFest, did you receive the gift? I'd be interested to know if this is it. I would think that if that was the case, they would say our apologies or something like that, but without any context, thank you. I will definitely take these potions, and I definitely need these potions because if you go in and look at my potions vault, I'm still facing, I have 3 snowdrops. I can only brew 3 potions right now. And I still have not found any of these rumpet horns. I have seen people say you can find them in the wild. I've seen screenshots, so I know that it can happen. They're extremely rare. And then I've also seen most people say that they find them in Portkeys. I'm not sure that we have a clear picture on what Portkey it is. My guess is 10K, but I don't have any research data. That's just kind of going off of memory. Anyway, I'm going to continue about my day here, and as soon as this turns to night, I'm going to try to get out and do some werewolf hunting. As you can tell, it is nighttime in-game. I do need to pick up a couple of Portkeys here. I need to make sure that I even have a Portkey going, and I do. We're definitely going to unlock that in today's video. And what I'm out here doing is, if you will notice on the calendar here, we have a clear night. Now, it's not technically a full moon, but remember, werewolves spawn either 1 to 2 days ahead of the full moon. So keep that in mind. I am getting reports of werewolves spawning currently. So, you know, other places in the world have already had their nighttime for today, which to them was yesterday. But we're out here. We are hunting werewolves. Just to give you a little bit of an update here on my sitch. It's not a good one, honestly. For my werewolves, I need 13 more, but I need 19 more centaur bows. That is not going to be good for business. Obviously, the horned serpents, and then since I'm never awake for Doxies, we have 11 more Doxies. Those pages are going to take quite a while. I only have 27 spell energy, so I definitely need to make my way over. Hit the inn, hit the other. So there's 3 inns and a couple of greenhouses. I better make the most of my time. Let's get our hunt on. There are plenty of spawns around me, and no, ooh, wait, what is this? What is this? Ooh, our first werewolf of this full moon. Now, if you're wondering why I'm so low on werewolves, well, it's because the last time werewolves were out, I was in Vancouver, British Columbia, and one of the nights that they should have been spawning, I didn't see any. I was with Pokemon. He didn't see any either, which was very bizarre, although we were getting horned serpents, so I guess that is okay. 1 werewolf down. What did I need? 13 when this video started, so we are well on our way. Not even like, I mean, it might have been a minute, but look at this. We lost our other oddity, but look at all these spawns around me. It's too bad that I'm just gonna pick up all these ingredients because they're here. But, like, what a crazy cluster spawn. I definitely need to make my way over to this inn because I am dangerously low on spell energy. Let me see if I can get close. That didn't look like a good chance of getting anything other than a 3 here. Please, no pumpkin juice. Honeydukes. There may have only been the option to get 3 there, but wow, what a cluster spawn. What was that? That's a lot of spawns. I wish I had, ooh, there. Another oddity. That's what we're here for. Ooh, pixies. It's going to take a little bit of time to figure out all these spawn habits for these oddities because, like, if we're gonna go into rainfall, like, humidity might be on the map, elevation might be on the map, like, who knows what is and what is not used, but there's a lot of Foundables here. All right, I'm gonna keep walking because we're looking for werewolves. And I almost forgot, one thing that I did want to do is I want to test the trace detection potion. That is going to be our new potion that we have in the game. What I'm gonna do is, I think it costs 60 gold just to flat out buy one. No, cancel that. Just to flat out buy one, but I think it also costs 60 gold just for the ingredients. So I'm gonna buy 1, which is not really a good deal probably. I probably should have just bought 3. But that being the case, I'm going to crank this thing. I'm gonna drink a potion. How about that? Where's my vault? And I just want to see, wait, how do I have 2? I don't know where I got the other one. I would not have purchased one if I knew I had one. But what I want to do is I want to see, can you pull werewolves from the tonic for trace detection? 30 minutes are on the clock. You get 10 spawns. Oh, look at that. And that is off of my trace. Whoa. I got, no. Okay, I thought I had 2 spawns there. So right off the bat, the very first thing that I have, it's a vampire, which is cool, but it's not a werewolf. But also what that means is basically that, yeah, werewolves can most likely be pulled off of trace detection. If it's pulling one oddity, I'm sure it can pull any oddity. So keep that in mind. I do like the werewolf. I know the vampire. I know a lot of people are mad. They're like, the animations take forever. I actually think the animations look really good, so I don't mind. And Andrea finds something kind of alluring about the vampire. So there's a snowdrop. All right, I'm gonna get the snowdrop, and I need to clear out some inventory space. But here we go, 30 minutes are on the clock. All right, this is not off of my trace detection, although I should be having a spawn here soon. Another vampire. Okay, I'd much rather them be werewolves, of course, but oddities are still fun. Almost a 1-hit. I did see my very first 2 dragons today. Let's see. Oh, I don't have a spawn off of my trace detection. Oh, there it is. Let's see what it is. Let's see what this thing is. I don't need that, so I'm actually going to just run away from it, especially because, actually only because I am low on my spell energy. So 1 oddity, 1 non-oddity. We have 1 werewolf and 2 vampires. Andrea is going to be extremely happy when she watches this video. Spawn number 3 off of the trace detector is another oddity, just proving that oddities do indeed pull from trace detection. Unfortunately, again, it is not a werewolf, but I feel pretty certain that werewolves could be pulled off of a trace detection. That's 2 out of 3 in this area, which is nice. The only other time that I've done a trace detection potion was in a nest, and that pulled primarily nest items. So 2 oddities, 1 dark arts is where we are. Hey, I got Mad Eye Moody's Eye on the first try there. Nothing above a high threat level, and that was, well, I had 1 on my original trace detector as well. So both times I've had 1 high threat level. I'm gonna continue walking around my loop here and see what else we can come up with. Okay, it is the 5th spawn and another vampire. So maybe you can't get werewolves off of trace detectors. This is the 5th one that I've had. You've seen the other 3. The one that you didn't see was a school 9 3/4. It was a Ravenclaw student. That's what I'm trying to say here. It was a Ravenclaw student. I decided not to get it because I'm so low on spell energy. But I mean, I'm doing really well on these oddities. It's good to see that I'm pulling every other one as an oddity. That's actually really nice to see, especially because I have ranked up so much between FanFest and Day of the Dragons that I have a ton of oddity runestones, and I'm going to need them all in order to prestige up the page. All right, well, it looks like I have 2.5 minutes to go before the next one. Hopefully, I haven't seen any other werewolves just naturally spawning either, so that's kind of concerning. I don't know why I'm having a hard time finding these. As you can see, I had another spawn off of my trace detector. It is not an oddity, but if I swing around over here, look at what we have. It is our 2nd werewolf. We're at 12 of 24. Remember, I needed 13 when this video started. This is only the 2nd one I've seen. It has only been, I mean, it's been like 16 minutes since I've been running, my trace detector. And then, so this was right before that. So maybe in 20 minutes, so 1 every 10 minutes or so. But I mean, that's not terrible. If you put an hour's time in and you get 1 every 20 minutes, it's only 3. Considering you only have like 3 days in order to return these, that could be problematic. You're probably gonna have to put in a little bit of extra time playing, but I have a minute and a half to go before the next spawn, so I'm gonna keep moving. All right, well, here we go. This did not come off of my trace detector, so I still cannot confirm that werewolves will spawn off of trace detectors, but I can also tell you that my pattern of 1 oddity, 1 non-oddity has been broken. The last spawn that I had at the 12-minute mark was a Magical Games and Sports. So there goes that. I could still go 50%. Like if I got back-to-back audit, then that would go put me back on track here. Let me throw a little something in the ground here. This looks as good as anything else. And the cluster spawns out here towards this road up here is more of a main road than the one that I've been walking on. And the spawns are significantly better over here by this main road. The area I just walked around, it really wasn't anything spawning. So keep that in mind, file that away for later use. And I've got about 30 seconds before my next spawn. Okay, I may have just hit the absolute, no! I thought I'd hit the mother load because there were 2 spawns here that were the oddity type that were high threat levels. One of them has despawned on me, maybe 150. So werewolves are right up there with the dragons. Interesting. Whoa. Homeboy wants to attack twice. Luckily, I mean, they don't do a whole lot of damage, especially since I've leveled up quite a bit. If you're newer to the game, werewolves probably do a significant amount of damage. I hope that this other one respawns because, no! And then I have another, oh, what is this? Maybe this is it, maybe this is it. There we go, now we're talking. So this is gonna put it at maybe 5. I can't even remember at this point, but another werewolf, nice. I have to say, as annoying as it is to have these spawns that you can kind of only get at certain times in certain places, I still like it. Because, and this is coming from somebody who cannot get horned serpents, I like it. It makes something new, something different in the game. And I'm okay with that. Hey, look at this. This will be number 7 if I can. That was a terrible trace. Ooh. But I do like it. I know I'm in the minority on that. And another depart away. It's been a while since I've had anything depart in a video for me. But I have one spawn remaining. I'm going to continue my little lap around. Well, I mean, it's been 5. I can't really complain about that. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the last spawn of my trace detector. It has the potential to be a werewolf, and it's not. Another vampire. So I cannot confirm. This video does not prove that werewolves are drawn to trace detector potions. I won't get any more spawns either, so we're gonna have to just kind of go with it for now. Oddities do spawn, obviously. I would imagine that means dragons. I would imagine that means werewolves, but I cannot confirm that. I have not seen it for myself with my own 2 eyes, so therefore I do see Snowdrop. I will. Oh no! Why did that despawn on me? Come back here. Okay, just had to move a little bit. And another pixie. So this is what trips me out about oddities. During this one video, I've seen werewolves, I've seen pixies, I've seen vampires, and I've seen centaurs. Now, here's why it's wackadoo. Because werewolves are only supposed to spawn when it's a full moon. If you look in game, it's not a full moon. But we already know that they spawn a day or 2 either side of the full moon. Well, what else is happening in game that pixies spawn a day or 2 either side of that we haven't picked up on, or centaurs that is close to but not exact? Makes it really hard to do research. Also, before we wrap up this video, Before we wrap up this video, let's check out what we do in our registry. We leveled up again. That is going to be another runestone, a level 4 runestone. Very nice. I did unlock 1 port key. I don't remember if it's a 2K or a 5K. We'll find out here very shortly. This looks like probably a 5K. Now here's the crazy thing. I was opening these earlier today, and there's a rack spurt inside of this little cauldron. It's like that. But on my 3rd one or 2nd one, it wasn't there. I don't know where it was. I can't reach that one, so I'm going to pass it up. Ooh, I got the crab shell, hermit shell, whatever. I definitely needed that. So that is nice. Still working on 1 port key there. And we'll pick 1 up there. Finally, the gift that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, that was a kind of an apology, a thank you, I don't know what, but it was for people who went to FanFest who didn't know that you really didn't need potions because the Foundables were so easy to return, and an apology, I guess, of sorts for people who had early admission but did not get the extra hour. Let me know in the comments below if you've used a trace detector potion. Were you able to pull any werewolves off of that? I'd love to know your theories, and I'm not going to question you. If you say you did, you did. I personally did not, so I cannot validate that. Anyway, that's all I've got for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and until next time.